that beautiful and graceful dance performance.
ஆமாம், அந்த செம்மொழி பாடல் தமிழின் சிறப்புகளை எடுத்திய பாடல். அதோடு அந்த பாடலின் இசை வடிவம் கூட பல இசை வடிவங்களை தன்னகத்தை கொண்டு உருவாக்கப்பட்டிருந்தது. தமிழினுடைய தேவை என்று பல்கலாச்சார நாட்டில் கனடாவில் நாங்கள் வாழ்வது போன்று உலக மட்டத்தில் எல்லா இடங்களிலும் நாங்கள் வியாபிக்க வேண்டும் என்ற ஒரு உன்னத நோக்கம் இருக்கின்றது. இந்த பாடலும் அதைத்தான் சொல்லியிருந்தது. ஆகவே இந்த தருணத்தில் கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனம் பற்றியும் நாங்கள் குறிப்பிட வேண்டும். 3 தசாப்த காலமாக, அதாவது 27 வருடங்களாக தொடர்ந்து வர்த்தகர்களை ஊக்குவித்து அவர்களுடைய செயற்பாடுகளை அதிகமாக தமிழர்கள் புலம்பெயர்ந்து வாழுகின்ற நாடுகளில் முதன்மையாக விளங்குகின்ற கனடாவில் இந்த வியாபார செயற்பாடுகளை முன்னெடுப்பதற்கு உந்து சக்தியாக லாப நோக்கற்ற அமைப்பாக இருப்பது இந்த கனடிய வர்த்தக சம்மேளனம். அதனுடைய இந்த விருது விழா மிக சிறப்பாக இம்முறையும் நடைபெற இருக்கின்றது. கடந்த காலங்களில் அவர்களுடைய செயற்பாடுகளுக்கு உந்து சக்தியாக இருந்த நிர்வாக சபை அங்கத்தவர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் இந்த தருணத்தில் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றோம். அத்தோடு இம்முறை இந்த விழா சிறப்பாக நடைபெறுவதற்கு மற்றொரு முதன்மை காரணமாக இருப்பது இந்த தலைமை பண்பை ஏற்று தொடர்ந்து ஒரு பெண்மணி இந்த தலைமை தாங்கும் நிலைக்கு இந்த வர்த்தக சம்மேளனம் உயர்ந்திருக்கின்றது என்பதுதான். அதற்கு ஒத்துழைப்பு வழங்கிய அனைவருக்கும் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு இந்த தருணத்தில் இந்த நிர்வாக சபை தெரிவில் முதற் பெண்மணியாக தெரிவாகி இருக்கின்ற டிலானி குணராஜா அவர்களை நாங்கள் இந்த அரங்கில் அறிமுகப்படுத்துவதில் மகிழ்வடைகின்றோம்.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the CTCC's 27-year history, this year marks the first time that the membership has elected a female president. Mrs. Dilani Gunaraja is a lady of very many accomplishments. She is a proud mother of 2, a barrister and solicitor, and now she has another notch in her proverbial belt as the first female president of the Canadian Tamils Chamber of Commerce. It is with great pleasure that we invite Mrs. Gunaraja to take the stage.
கரகோஷத்துடன் நாங்கள் கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தினுடைய தலைவி டிலானி குணராஜா அவர்களை அன்போடு
Good evening, founding members, past presidents, distinguished guests. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to welcome you all to the Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce 20th Annual Awards Gala. It is a great honor to stand before you as the first female president of the Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce. Tonight, we are pleased to be celebrating the important role all of you play in our community and to excellence of our businesses. CTCC has been in existence for over 25 years. In these years, we have showcased countless entrepreneurs who have tirelessly and dedicated their lives to build innovative businesses from the ground up. Now, many of these businesses are providing leading services and products in variety of industries and setting a gold standard of best business practices. With the vast knowledge of the past presidents, founders, and board members, the Tamil-owned and operated businesses have thrived and continue to grow with their guidance. The longevity of the organization is solely based on the wealth of experience within the membership base, and their commitment is shaping a vibrant and progressive Tamil business community. It is clear to us that for our organization to continue to be a strong player in the business community, we must forge new partnership and collaborate with key stakeholders in all sectors. We are looking forward to fostering more opportunities for the economic growth within our community, both locally and abroad through the help of these stakeholders. One such partnership will be announced today by the City of Toronto Mayor, His Lordship, John Tory, and Toronto City Councillor, Neithan Shan. Over the years, we have laid the foundation for public sector support and the recognition at all levels. The perseverance has paid off. For the first time in the history this year, we were invited by the federal government to Ottawa for the tabling of the 2018 federal budget. As we move forward, we must build on the Chamber's founding principles to serve and support the Canadian Tamil businesses and encourage a path for future generations to realize their own entrepreneurial visions. The Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce believes that a strong community fosters stronger businesses. We have been established ourselves as one of the leading voices for the community through hard work, dedication, and determination. To maintain our reputation, I am committed to ensuring that we create an inclusive platform for unity and collaborative among other Tamil and key stakeholder organizations. To continue to thrive, we need to support our existing businesses, but also the next generation's business aspirations. For our young professionals are already creating innovative platforms and initiatives. We must find ways to support their growth and encourage their ambition through the key mentorship opportunities. Through unity, we can draw up our collective strength to ensure our success as a Tamil business community in years to come. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the board members and their families for their support, and I consider a privilege to belong to such an exclusive group of diverse entrepreneurs. Now, help me to introduce the Board of Directors. Executive Vice President, Gajan Mahaganapati. VP for Internal Affairs, Kubesh Navaratnam. Vice President Finance, Veena Ravadas. Vice President Memberships, Ramanan Sandhya Sekaramurthy. Vice President Community Relations, Venu Puvirasa. Director Ram Krish. Director Deepan Raj. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to conclude by extending my heartfelt gratitude to all our sponsors, members, guests, media for joining us this special occasion. Thank you for your continued support. Have a wonderful evening, guys.
Mrs. Dilani Gunaraja, and to all the Board of Directors. We are extremely pleased to have Ms. Susan Udayakumar join us today. She is the Country President at Schneider Electric Canada. Susan is a 13-year veteran at Schneider Electric. Her previous roles within the company include Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, and Director of Mergers and Acquisitions. Susan holds multiple degrees in finance from the University of Waterloo and an MBA from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University.
பெண்கள் ஒரு காலத்தில் அடிமைகளாக இருந்தார்கள், வீட்டு வேலைகளை மட்டும் கவனிப்பவர்களாக இருந்தார்கள். பின் ஆணின் வெற்றிக்கு பக்கபலமாக பெண்கள் இருந்தார்கள். கால மாற்றத்தில் உலகம் எவ்வளவு மாறுகின்றதோ அதே வேகத்தில் நாங்களும் மாற வேண்டிய தருணம் இந்த தருணம். இந்த மாற்றங்கள் எல்லாம் தமிழ் சமூகத்திற்கும் தேவை. அனைவரும் எதிர்பார்ப்பும் அதுவாகவே இருக்கின்றது. முடங்கி இருக்கும் சமூகம் அல்ல நாம், அதை வழிநடத்தும் நிர்வாகத்திறன் படைத்தவர்கள் என்பதற்கு ஒரு உதாரணமான தமிழ் பெண்மணியைத்தான் நாங்கள் இந்த தருணத்தில் சந்திக்கப் போகின்றோம். சாதனை படைத்த பெண் சூசன் உதயகுமார் அவர்கள் தன்னுடைய அனுபவ பாடங்கள் மூலமாக பெற்றுக்கொண்ட அனுபவத்தை இந்த கனேடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் இந்த விருது வழங்கும் விழாவில் உங்கள் முன் சமர்ப்பிக்க இருக்கின்றார். அவரை அன்போடு அழைக்கின்றோம்.
Please welcome Ms. Susan Udayakumar.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். உங்களை சந்திப்பதில் பெரும் மகிழ்ச்சி. Good evening. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me. And to start a little bit about myself, I moved to Canada when I was 12, like many of you, with my family. And I went to school here. I, started my life here. And then I joined Deloitte to start my career. And after which I moved to the United States, and about 8 years ago, I moved back to Canada. So, I have to tell you that now that I'm back in Canada, I love Canada. I love the diversity that we have. I love the openness of the country. And I am really proud today because I see how successful our community has become in our adopted country. And as they mentioned, I'm the country president of Schneider Electric Canada. So for those of you that don't know the company, Schneider is a global company. It's present in 100 countries, including Sri Lanka. And what I'm really proud of is the company is about digital energy management. So it is in multiple sectors, including buildings, data centers, infrastructure, and industry. And they really believe that access to energy is a basic human right. So I'm very, very proud of the strategy of the company. And again, I'm very, very happy to be here. So now back to why I'm here today. The dinner today is to celebrate excellence in business performance by our community. And so I thought, let me share some of the things that got me to where I am today, and perhaps that would really motivate the younger community and our younger talent to reach their ambition. So first and foremost, I think to succeed in business or in life, you have to have a drive. And that drive for all of us is very different. For me, it is to validate the courageous decision that my parents made to move here so many years ago and to start a new life. So whenever things get tough, I say to myself, it can't be as difficult as having to pick up when you're in your mid-30s and move across continents to be here. The second thing I would say to you that really drives me is I have a young daughter. She's 10 years old. She's with us today, Ava. And I want to be a really good role model for her. And I want her to realize that life is full of possibilities. It's really up to us to seize that day. And I would say to you, the second thing is you have to surround yourself by people that push you and that want you to better yourself. And for me, that is my family. That is my husband who puts up with me when I come home at 10 o'clock at night every day. And it's also friends that I've had for over 30 years that have always been very truthful about what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. So I think, make sure that you're amongst people that push you to accomplish what you are really capable of. On that note, in terms of people pushing you, I wanted to share a story with you. So every time a South Asian person becomes a CEO of a major company, my father would email, the announcement, and I think it was also something like, Susan, so what are you up to and when are you going to deliver? And with the likes of, obviously, Sundar Pichai, who is the Google CEO, and Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft, and Indra Nui, at one point my email was really pinging a lot. And whenever I received these announcements, I would look up and see why these people were successful. And one in particular for me, Indra Nui, made a real impression. And she has this model that she operates by, and she calls it the 5C model. First and foremost, she says, to be a good leader, you have to be competent. So in whatever discipline that you choose, you have to be known as the expert in that field, because what it allows you to do is to really separate yourself from the pack. And in order to be the expert in any field, you have to be a lifelong student and a learner. So I really encourage all of you, push yourself to learn. I think as a community, we're known for studying and learning, and I think that would really help you in accomplishing your goals. The second thing, and they are a pair, is courage and confidence. If you have all the competency, but you are afraid to speak up and afraid to make a difference, you really can't be a leader. So push yourself, make the decision, even if you have very little information, and be confident in what you decide. The third thing that I wanted to mention is communication. As a leader, you're always rallying the troops. So spend time to become a good communicator, both written and in verbal, because without communication, how can you really motivate your team? The fourth thing is consistency. So as a leader, you don't want people around you to say, well, with what framework will she decide today? You want to be very clear in terms of what you're about so people around you don't guess what it is that you want. And the last thing, and it is really important, is compass. So when you lead, you have to lead with integrity. So you could be really competent, you could be courageous and confident, you could be consistent, and you could be a great communicator. But if you don't lead with integrity, everything falls apart. So make sure that you lead with integrity. So hope that sharing that with you is helpful to all of you. The last thing that I want to leave you with is that if you want to succeed and if you really want to reach your true potential, step out of that comfort zone and take risk. With risk comes reward, but also if we think back, I'm sure all of us have succeeded in a lot of things. We may celebrate while we move on, but when we fail, we remember it and we remember why we failed. So don't be afraid to fail. It's okay. Try not to do it all the time, but take chances and push yourself. I reflect back on my career. I had great mentors. I went from acquisitions to becoming a CFO to leading a business unit, and I'm not an engineer, and I lead an engineering company. So I think as human beings, we're really capable of a lot. It's really having the courage to take those risks. So with that, what I want to say to you is, be yourself, take risks, aim high, and just remember that chance favors a prepared mind, so prepare yourself for your success. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Udayakumar, for that truly remarkable keynote address. Allow us to introduce the Mayor of the City of Toronto, His Worship, Mayor John Tory, and Councillor Neithan Shan. The City of Toronto is home to the largest population of the Tamil community, and Mayor Tory has always been a champion for our community's needs. Councillor Neithan Shan, a well-known community activist, will be joining our mayor for an exciting announcement.
கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் இந்த விருது விழா நிகழ்வில் அடுத்ததாக டொரண்டோ மேயர் ஜான் டோரியும் நீதன் ஷான் அவர்களும் ஒரு செயல் திட்டம் பற்றி உங்களுக்கு தகவல்களை தர இருக்கின்றார்கள். டொரண்டோவில் தமிழர்கள் அதிகமாக செறிந்து வாழ்கின்றார்கள். தமிழரின் பலம், அவர்களின் அரசியல் பொருளாதார நலன், தாயக உறவு போன்ற விடயங்களை நன்கு உணர்ந்து செயற்படுபவர் மேயர் ஜான் டோரி அவர்கள். டொரண்டோ மேயர் ஜான் டோரி அவர்கள் இந்த நிகழ்வுக்கு வருகை தந்ததையிட்டு நாங்கள் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வதோடு, கனேடிய அரசியல் நீரோட்டத்தில் ஆரம்ப காலம் தொட்டே பல ஆண்டுகளாக தமிழரின் அரசியல் பிரவேசம் எந்தளவு முக்கியத்துவம் என்பதனை உணர்ந்து செயல்பட்டவர் நீதன் ஷான் அவர்கள் இப்பொழுது கவுன்சிலராகவும் இருக்கின்றார். இந்த நிலையில் இவர்கள் இருவரையும் இந்த மேடையில் நாங்கள் சந்திக்கின்றோம். இந்த செயல் திட்டம் என்ன என்பது பற்றி அறிய ஆவலாக இருக்கின்றோம். உங்களுடைய உற்சாக கரகொலியோடு அவர்களை வரவேற்போம்.
Well, Vanakkam, ladies and gentlemen, and Madam President, and everyone else assembled here, honored guests, and I'm so delighted to be here with my colleague, Councillor Nathan Chan, who is doing a wonderful job in every respect as a member of Toronto City Council. And I hope this community takes great pride in him being the first representative of the Tamil Canadian community on City Council. He is doing great credit to this community, as do all of you here tonight. I'm particularly happy to be here, of course, on the first day of spring. I know it's supposed to have been a month ago, but it was the first day of spring today. And I tell people who were just visiting here last week, there was large numbers of business people and so on here last week, that it really was just a mistake and that it's going to be fixed up next year, because we have to make sure we don't get people scared off by the weather. I am very happy. Of the 20 years this dinner has taken place, I have been to probably 12 of them, and it is always a highlight on the calendar, but I want to express my particular congratulations to the Canadian Tamils Chamber of Commerce. As one of the co-chairs said, the co-host said earlier this evening, there is much to be proud of here. And there's much to be proud of not just in the area of enterprise and commerce, but there's much to be proud of in this community. One of the earlier speakers referred to the gold standard. I think it was our president referred to the gold standard earlier on, and I've said many times, I don't just say it here, I even say it at events that don't involve the Tamil community. If you want to look to the gold standard for enterprise and for courage, then you can look to the Tamil community. And if you want to look to the gold standard for parenting, you've probably heard me say this before, it's the Tamil community. And Susan made reference to people who help you to study and to learn, and this is very much a part of why people do well in this community, and I can tell you that that comes from my own observation from good parenting. You know, the courage part that I referred to also was referred to by Susan in her most excellent remarks, because if you think of the courage that was involved in many of you and many of your parents and siblings and others leaving your country of birth in unbelievable, unspeakable circumstances and coming here to a place very far away and starting a brand new life, it really is a great profile in courage in and of itself. And some of you here who are being honored and have been honored in past years were just natural entrepreneurs, so it wasn't an accident that you established successful businesses. But let's be honest, in many cases you ended up being entrepreneurs because you found it challenging, difficult, sometimes impossible to break into the system of business and the professions, not because people in this country were trying to keep you out, but just because it's hard when you come from another country to break in to a well-established system where lots of people have known each other for a long, long time. And so to me, when I come to this dinner every year and see the success stories being honored and see the success stories that continue to support this dinner, my admiration for the Tamil community, and in particular for its business community, grows exponentially. And I talk about it all over the city because I think it is one of the great examples that we have, not only of business success and of persistence and determination and hard work and courage, but also of the great Canadian story in and of itself, where people can come to this country and with a lot of hard work and a little bit of help, and sometimes that help wasn't even there, people can be anything that they want to be. And that includes not just business, but it includes the professions, political life, where Nathan is now making such a big contribution. And beyond all the good words that we can speak at occasions like this, and they're important, and as I said, I speak those same words about this community and use it as an example. For example, I talk about my own support for the continued embracing of refugees by this country, and how important it is that we accept other people. But I use always as an example the Tamil community, as well as others like the Vietnamese community, who have come here and have proven to be nothing but the most wonderful of contributing citizens in terms of the economics of the country, the politics, the culture, and every single aspect of life. And all they needed was a place to come to escape unbelievable atrocities and injustices, and they proved themselves 1,000 times over to be contributing citizens. And so beyond the words, though, we also decided, and when I say we, it was under the great leadership of Nathan Chan, that we should do more as a city because of the importance of this community and because of the circumstances that find themselves in the northern and eastern provinces in particular of Sri Lanka. I was struck by the fact on my last visit, which I made with Councillor Chan, that when we were in Colombo, there were almost as many cranes there that were putting things up and building condos and office towers as there are in Toronto. It was remarkable to see all the growth that was taking place. But I was also struck by the fact that when we went north, it was my first visit to the north, because the previous time I'd been in the country we couldn't go there because of the conflict, that there wasn't so much going on when we got to Jaffna and when we got to the northern and eastern provinces. And we decided we should do something about that, and that we should, as small a contribution as we might make, that there was something we could do in a formal, declared way, so that we could say that the people at home who are your friends and your brothers and your sisters and your fellow Tamils who were born and in many cases still live, of course, in the northern and eastern provinces of Sri Lanka would have some of the opportunities they should have in that beautiful country. And so when we went there, we not only went to see some of the things that I wanted to see and that Councillor Chan wanted to see, because he hadn't been back since he was a very young person, some of the scenes that brought to reality for us the terrible injustices that were forced on the Tamil people. Not only was that brought to life for me, so that I came back here forever an advocate of the need for continuing justice and reconciliation in that country, but also we signed a memorandum of understanding between the City of Toronto and the District of Jaffna. And we're going to work on a number of things. We're going to work on that beautiful library that was just flashed up at the beginning of the video, and to see it partially restored now to the grand and beautiful building that it is can only be accompanied by work that we will help to do from here to make sure that what goes on inside that building is every bit as important to the culture and the livelihood of people in Jaffna and in other parts of the north as it should be. So we'll work on digitization, and there's going to be a wonderful program here at home that you might hear more about, because Councillor Shan's going to say a word in a couple of minutes, with libraries here in Toronto, 10 different library branches where kids will be encouraged to read in both English and that wonderful, rich, historic Tamil language. And they'll be encouraged to do that at various programs. There'll be a book drive to send good books to Jaffna. Money will be raised to contribute to the well-being of the library in Jaffna. All of that in our communities here, and all of this a part of the Memorandum of Understanding. And so there's that. But the other thing that I want to make mention of, and that really is the subject of our announcement tonight, is that we agreed we would do what we could. We would do what we could to help with economic development because there are so many resources, so many friends, including friends who are not Tamil, in this community, that we felt it was something where we could be of some assistance consistent with the wishes of the people who live there, because they know best what they need and how we can help. But we knew, of course, what we didn't know, and that was that there's a great deal of business expertise resident in the Canadian Tamils Chamber of Commerce. And so I'm happy to tell you that what we're going to do, and what we are here to announce tonight, is that the City of Toronto will partner with the Canadian Tamils Chamber of Commerce to implement the economic development section of the Memorandum of Understanding between Toronto and Jaffna. We know that working with the Chamber and with its membership and with its president and all of its directors, that we can make a meaningful contribution to economic development and to seeing more of those cranes and more and better jobs made available in Jaffna and in the northern and eastern provinces as a result of some help that can come from this wonderful community and from this great city that you have chosen to our great fortune to call home. And so, before I ask Nathan to say a few words about the partnership, I'd like to ask the President, Delaney Gunaraja, to come up and accept from us this scroll, which says two things on it. I won't read it to you because I've already used more than my time and Nathan's going to be mad at me. But first of all, it wishes a happy 20th anniversary to the Chamber. But secondly, it commemorates and celebrates this partnership that we're forming as of today. Not only the partnership between Jaffna and the City of Toronto, but the special partnership between the City of Toronto and the Canadian Tamils Chamber of Commerce, where we will work together to make sure that people in the northern and eastern provinces have access to better opportunities as best we possibly can. So, Madam President, I hope you'll accept this from both of us and from the City of Toronto, and we will look forward to working with you and your colleagues in the months and years ahead to create jobs and economic activity in Sri Lanka and to continue to do so at home. And on that note, we'll step over here and take a picture briefly. I will say Nandri, and Councillor Shan will follow me after we take this short picture.
Vanakkam. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I have been to many chamber gala nights, but this one is special. Good to be speaking at an event at a chamber that is headed by a Tamil woman. I'm very proud to be here. It's a monumental change, and it's going to encourage more women to be, as we saw, we have a lot more work to do on the executive side, but having a president will make that happen, and I know the men who were up here are extremely supportive and completely behind her in her attempt to take the chamber to the next level. Before I talk a little bit about the program, I have to say, the Tamil businesses have not only succeeded themselves, today we have a very vibrant cultural scene within the Tamil community because of the support the businesses give. We have a very vibrant sports scene within the Tamil community. We have a very vibrant religious establishment within our media, within our community. All these would have not happened if it's not for the Tamil businesses. They not only succeeded themselves, but have given back again and again, strengthening our community as a holistic community. So thank you very much for all your work. That's why we are a strong community together. Elected representatives like me would not be here if it's not for the philanthropy of the business community. Having said that, we also understand that there are many businesses within the Tamil community that are struggling. Many businesses that need additional support. Many small businesses, many family-run businesses. So I think it's very important for Chamber and City of Toronto, because the City of Toronto, the municipal government, is the most closest in terms of business development when it comes to small businesses. So it's very important for us to be a partner, and I'm glad our manager for economic development, Mike Williams, is here, and our entire team is here with the table supporting this initiative and building that relationship, because it's something that we are looking forward to expanding and collaborating more. So this partnership that we are talking about is for two purposes. One of the purposes is going to be for the City of Toronto to give more support for Tamil businesses that exist within the City of Toronto, the small businesses that need the support, the young entrepreneurs, the newcomers who are going into entrepreneurship, be supported better by the City of Toronto. That is part of the plan. The second part of the plan is to support businesses in our homeland. Particularly, businesses that have been started by people who have been most impacted by war, women-led businesses by people who have gone through rehabilitation, who were former cadres. So they have set up many businesses to support their livelihoods, and it's important for us to find ways in which we can support the connections and support the businesses and livelihood back home. But that can only be done through a channel here, a democratically elected organization that's been here strong and stable for almost 3 decades, none other than Chamber of Commerce in the Tamil community. So it's better that we partner to do this through the Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce. So the idea is to kind of figure out a way to look at what exists, do an environmental scan back home in Jaffna and find out what kind of economic opportunities are there, what kind of exports are possible, and then catalog that and support that process through the work of the Chamber and City of Toronto. The other part is to find people who want to invest, find people who want to start businesses, not just the Tamil community, but also non-Tamil community who wants to invest. But find them and give them the right tools and the right support, but also emphasize on having an equity focus, because it's important to do this the right way, important to respect the community there. It's important to make sure there's no exploitation, make sure it's done in an ethical way, and that is a role that Chamber of Commerce from the Tamil community, Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce, will play together with us to make sure that the investments are going to the right place in the right manner, in the most respectable manner to help rebuild there. So this is the formal partnership. More details will come through, and there are much more activities that are being planned in August and September that you'll hear about from the Chamber of Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce, CTCC. But for now, I'll leave it with that. I just want to finish off by saying quickly the next 3 pillars. Economic development is one pillar that we are working with the Chamber, but there is a partnership with the universities. The Tamil Students Association and all of the universities within Toronto are already collaborating, coming together. We formed a coalition. We will be working with the university in Jaffna and other vocational training institutes to make sure there is a virtual hub of exchange and knowledge sharing and research partnership and innovation hub that is created between the 2 communities to strengthen that relationship, and I'm looking forward to that partnership along with the universities as a whole. The other one, as we mentioned, 10 locations of Toronto Public Library, known as one of the best, if not the best, in public library system in the world, with amazing distribution, amazing strategy and structure, will be partnering with Jaffna Library and other libraries across Jaffna district to make sure that we have the support there to educate our young people, to give them the break that they need in terms of exposure to resources. The last thing I'll say is that there is a governance piece. There are a number of bureaucrats and number of public servants, number of people who are in public service at all 3 levels of government. We are bringing Tamils in public service together to support public service sector in Jaffna so that there's cross-training and there's benefit on both sides to do that. So we're very excited about these projects, but particularly excited about the economic development, because without a sustainable livelihood, nothing can change there. So very glad that we are here with the Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce to launch this. Thank you very much for your attention. Take care and have a fabulous evening.
நன்றி மேயர் ஜான் டோரி மற்றும் நீதன் ஷான், உங்கள் இருவருக்கும் நன்றி. நீங்கள் எடுத்திருக்கின்ற இந்த முயற்சி மிக சிறப்பானதாக அமைய வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றோம். கனேடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் 27 ஆண்டுகால பயணத்தில் இந்த கூட்டு முயற்சி என்பது குறிப்பாக தாயக மக்களுக்கு உதவும் நோக்காக இருக்கப் போகின்றது. அத்தோடு கனேடிய வர்த்தகத்தை அடுத்த தலைமுறைக்கும் அடுத்த தளத்துக்கும் கொண்டு செல்வதற்கான ஒரு முயற்சியாகவும் பார்க்கலாம். ஆகவே இந்த செயல் திட்டங்கள் வெற்றி பெற நாங்களும் பிரார்த்திக்கின்றோம்.
That it did indeed sound like a very exciting initiative being spearheaded by both the City of Toronto and CTCC, and we look forward to hearing about the outcomes from this project. We would like to now take a moment to acknowledge our sponsors once again.
Platinum sponsor Techno Media, உங்கள் முழுமையான பாதுகாப்பின் முன்னோடி.
Diamond sponsors CIBC, Kanish and Partners.
Gold sponsor
and RBC, sorry.
Gold sponsor Remax Sri Lanka Sujan. Santa Pajalingam, Santa Electrical and Plumbing Services. Chapel Ridge, மற்றும் Scotia Bank.
Our silver sponsors, the Cooperators.
Media sponsor Metroland.
And our wine sponsors, Raj Thanaraja and Lotus Funeral and Cremation Center Incorporated. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help us invite the President and CEO of the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Rocco Rossi, on stage to share a few words about unity and collaboration with your local Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Rocco Rossi joined the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, OCC, in 2018 as President and CEO. Prior to joining the OCC, Mr. Rossi served as President and CEO of Prostate Cancer Canada, where he helped to advance the research, advocacy, education, and awareness of the most common cancer in men.
ஒன்டாரியோ மாகாண வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் தலைவர் மற்றும் பிரதான நிறைவேற்றக்காரியான ரோக்கோ ரோசி அவர்கள் இப்பொழுது உங்களுக்காக சில விடயங்களை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள இருக்கின்றார். உள்ளூர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனங்களுடன் ஒன்றிணைந்து செயல்படுவதன் மூலமாக எவ்வாறு நாங்கள் எங்களுடைய இலக்குகளை அடையலாம் என்பது பற்றி அவர் சில விடயங்களை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள இருக்கின்றார். அதோடு இவர் புரோஸ்டேட் கேன்சர் கனடாவினுடைய தலைமை மற்றும் பிரதான நிறைவேற்று அதிகாரியாகவும் விளங்கியவர். ஆண்களுக்கு ஏற்படுகின்ற இந்த கேன்சரை தடுப்பதற்கான ஆராய்ச்சிக்கும் அதற்கான விழிப்புணர்வுக்கும் அதற்கான கல்விக்கும் தன்னுடைய முழுமையான பங்களிப்பை தொடர்ந்து வழங்கி வருபவர். அவரை இந்த மேடையில் நாங்கள் அன்போடு அழைக்கின்றோம் உரையாற்றுவதற்காக.
Please welcome Mr. Rocco Rossi.
Vanakkam, ladies and gentlemen, Madam President, Your Worship, councillors. I see also that we're joined by two ministers, Health Minister Jacek and my good friend, International Trade Minister Michael Chan. I know that all of you join me in wishing Minister Chan good health. Understand a very difficult choice, but on behalf of the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, and I know all of those gathered here, we want to thank you for your tremendous years of service to the province and to the riding of Markham. You know, the Madam President and the board have given me a great honor and have fulfilled one of my greatest life wishes, which is to have Mayor John Tory as my warm-up act. So thank you. Achievement. In English, sometimes 20 is referred to as a score. And in a country like Canada, which is dominated by hockey, score has a totally different meaning, but we can tell that the CTCC has scored an incredible goal tonight. So give yourselves a big hand. I am sorry that I cannot do greater honor to your incredible language than the single simple word of Vanakkam. But I want to assure you, as the child of immigrants, I understand firsthand the courage that you and your parents have undertaken and what you've built in this city and this country. I share that experience. Today I seem like a big shot, but I was a little kid in a neighborhood, the only Italians on the street. I understood what it meant to face prejudice and racism. I understood what it meant to be different, to eat different food, to speak a different language when we were worshiping God. And yet, seeing the incredible courage of my parents in building small businesses and creating a tremendous life for me and my sisters. There are people in the world that want to build walls and stop immigration and stop refugees. And I have a message for them. They are so incredibly stupid. Because for all of those who've come here, there are millions, if not billions of people in situations that were just as bad as the ones faced by you and your parents, and yet didn't have the courage to pick up and build a life again in a different country. We in Canada have benefited from getting the best of the best from every country in the world, and I salute you tonight for all that you've done. We at the Ontario Chamber of Commerce want to work much more closely with the CTCC on public policy, on advocating to make sure that we maintain an environment where businesses can prosper. Because make no mistake, despite the fact that we're here tonight to celebrate excellence, and hey, all of the people who are going to win the awards know, look man, I'm pretty good, right? I've got a great business, I've got great staff, we have fabulous products and services. So let Delaney and the board worry about public policy. I'm just going to take care of business. I'm going to do okay, right? That's often the attitude we have. But that is a dangerous attitude, my friends, because at the end of the Second World War, when the Rossi family in southern Italy, faced with misery and poverty, decided that they were going to leave to build a better life for themselves and their children, one branch of the family came to Canada. Another branch of the family said, I don't know about this snow thing. Like, it's pretty cold in Canada. So we're going to go to Argentina, which after the Second World War had exactly the same GDP per capita as Canada. A wealthy country, lots of resources, all immigrants coming to build a great country. The family here in Canada has done incredibly well. We've sent our children to university, we've built businesses, we've bought houses. We live a good life in a great country. My family in Argentina, just as smart as us, just as hardworking, saved money, built businesses, worked hard, but bad government policy led to hyperinflation, 3 currency devaluations, and the bankruptcy of entire generations of working people and businesses in that country. We have to demand better of our politicians. We have a provincial election coming. The OCC wants to work with the CTCC to make sure all parties have to put themselves on record in how they are going to continue to build on the prosperity of this province. No one should be allowed to ask for your vote without giving you a full platform. No one. And we will work shoulder to shoulder with you to make sure every party, every candidate is asked those questions, and afterwards to work with you to build a great future for your children and their children in the greatest province, in the greatest country in the world. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Rossi, for that very rousing speech.
அடுத்ததாக கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் விருது விழாவில் உங்களை மகிழ்விப்பதற்காக ஒரு பாடல் காட்சி இடம்பெற இருக்கின்றது. தொடர்ந்து பல உரைகள் இடம்பெற்றிருக்கின்றன. ஆகவே இப்பொழுது ஒரு இசையோடு சங்கமிக்க போகின்றோம். கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்திற்காக உருவாக்கப்பட்டிருக்கின்ற பாடல். இந்த பாடலை கேட்கின்ற பொழுது நாங்கள் சாதிக்க வேண்டியவை இன்னும் பல இருக்கின்றன. அத்தோடு கனடிய தமிழ் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தோடு சேர்ந்து எவ்வாறு பயணிக்கலாம் போன்ற எண்ணங்கள் உங்களுடைய கற்பனையில் ஓடத் தொடங்கும். அது உங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையின் வெற்றிப்படிக்கு உதவும் என்பது எங்களுடைய நம்பிக்கை. பிரபல பாடகர் எஸ்பி பாலசுப்ரமணியம் அவர்களோடு கூட்டு சேர்ந்து கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனம் இந்த பாடலை உருவாக்கி இருக்கின்றது. அதனை உங்களுக்காக வழங்க இருக்கின்றோம்.
CTCC is a non-profit organization that connects entrepreneurs and business professionals to develop and foster their businesses in Canada's diverse economy. For 27 years, CTCC has built a strong community that consists of innovative, successful, and passionate individuals who continue to lead the Canadian Tamil community to success. Please allow us to introduce the CTCC theme song that was created in joint partnership with SP Balasubramaniam and many other talented artists.
கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் 25வது ஆண்டு நிறைவுக்காக இந்த பாடல் உருவாக்கம் பெற்றிருந்தது. எல்லோராலும் ஒரு ஒலிபரப்பாளராக பார்க்கப்பட்ட B.H. அப்துல் ஹமீத் அவர்கள் பல பாடல்களை எழுதியிருக்கின்றார். அந்த வகையில் கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் இந்த பாடலையும் அவர் தன்னுடைய வரிகளால் அழகுபடுத்தி இருந்தார் என்பது இங்கு நாங்கள் நினைவு கூறத்தக்கது. இந்த பாடலுக்கான இசையை வழங்கியிருந்தவர் கனடிய முன்னணி இசையமைப்பாளரான ஃபயாஸ் சவாகிர்.
We would now like to take a moment to introduce you to the committee members on the nomination team. Dr. Gayatri Gangadharan, Dr. Giri, and Mr. Rudy Rudran. These individuals have likely had the most arduous task of us all in narrowing down the field and selecting the cream of the crop from the Canadian Tamil business field.
இந்த பொன்னான தருணத்தில் விருதுகளை பெறுபவர்களின் விவரங்கள் அறிவிக்கப்பட இருக்கின்றன. தொடர்ந்து விருது வழங்கும் விழா நடைபெற இருக்கின்றது. இந்த விருது வழங்கும் விழாவை தொடர்ந்து தொகுத்து வழங்க இருக்கின்றார் டாக்டர் காயத்ரி கங்காதரன் அவர்கள். தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் நிர்வாக சபை அங்கத்தவராக இருப்பவர், அத்தோடு பல சமூக பணிகளையும் மேற்கொண்டு வருபவர். டொரண்டோவில் ஒரு கைரோபிராக்டர் டாக்டராக கடமையாற்றி வருகின்றார். அத்தோடு இவர் வேம்படி மகளிர் கல்லூரியின் பழைய மாணவி என்பதும் குறிப்பிடத்தக்கது. அவரை இப்பொழுது அன்போடு நாங்கள் வரவேற்கின்றோம்.
Please welcome Dr. Gayatri Gangadharan, who will be introducing you all to the stars of the night, the award recipients. Dr. Gayatri Gangadharan is currently a chiropractor and registered acupuncturist practicing in Toronto. She has served in the past as a board member for the CTCC and CMDDA. She is also an alumni of the Vembadi Girls High School in Jaffna.
Thank you for the warm welcome. The moment is here for the award winners. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce to you all the award recipients for this evening. Tonight, the Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce will be honoring outstanding individuals in 5 categories. They are the best entrepreneur, best woman entrepreneur, best young entrepreneur, best marketing, most outstanding community service. The individuals that we will be recognizing today have been selected by an independent awards committee. Tonight's award winners are some of the shining stars of the Tamil business community. They all have some key things in common. Many of these individuals, like many of us, had to break multiple barriers, take risks associated with starting a business, and despite all the adversity they faced, they overcame and succeeded. Through their perseverances and excellence, they have not only brought incredible success for themselves, but they have also brought economic success to the Tamil community that has contributed to Canadian economic success as a whole. The Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce is proud to salute the 2018 award recipients. The first award tonight is the Most Outstanding Community Service Person Award. This will be presented by President Mrs. Delani Gunaraja, the first woman president for CTCC. Let's give us applause.
முதலாவது விருது கனடிய தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தின் அனுசரணையில் வழங்கப்படுகின்ற விருது சமூக சேவைக்கான விருது. உங்களுடைய உற்சாக கரகோஷத்தோடு அந்த விருது வழங்கப்படுகின்றது.
Let's play a AV. This award winner has been doing volunteer This award winner has been doing volunteer work since he was a teenager and is continuing with it in Canada as well. He is an alumni of Stanley College, Jaffna, Sri Lanka. By being ready to help and with togetherness, he believes that we can grow together and build healthy communities. Let's play a video on Yoganathan, please. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start this evening by welcoming the most outstanding community service award winner for 2018, Mr. Yoganathan Karthikesu, to the stage.
ஆண்டு நாங்கள் வவுனிக்குளம் நலம்புரி அமைப்பு ஒன்றை உருவாக்கினோம். அந்த அமைப்பினூடாக வவுனிக்குள மல்லாவி ஆஸ்பத்திரிக்கு கிணத்தினை பட்டியும் ஜெனரேட்டரை வழங்கியும் அது மக்களின் உதவியுடன் செய்திருந்தோம். அதன் பிற்பாடு 2000ஆம் ஆண்டு வன்னி தமிழ் கலாச்சார அமையத்துடன் இணைந்து நிதியாளராகவும் தலைவராகவும் தற்பொழுது செயற்குழு உறுப்பினராகவும் இருக்கின்றேன். அதனூடாக எமது நாட்டில் உள்ள வடக்கு கிழக்கு மாகாணத்தில் உள்ள மக்களுக்கு எம்மாலான உதவிகளை செய்து வருகின்றோம். இந்த சந்தர்ப்பத்தில் தமிழர் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனமாகிய நீங்கள் எங்களுக்கு இந்த அவார்டை தருவது எனக்கு பெறுகின்ற கௌரவம் அல்ல, எமது மக்களுக்கு, அதாவது
Let's join together and congratulate Yoganathan Karthikesu for his most outstanding community service award. Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is the Best Marketing Entrepreneur Award, which is sponsored by CIBC, Mr. Mani Chittur, Senior Director, Mobile Advice Team, Greater Toronto West. Mani Chittur is a Senior Director in CIBC Mortgages for GTA West region. He has been working in CIBC for the last 8 years. In the past, he has worked with CIBC, the Royal Bank and Scotia Bank. Mani is a great leader and well-recognized individual in the mortgage industry for the dedication and passion for the work. Now we will watch a short video about CIBC.
வழங்கப்படுகின்றது. CIBC அனுசரணையில் இந்த சந்தைப்படுத்தலுக்கான விருது வழங்கப்படுகின்றது. இதோ உங்களுக்காக இந்த ஏவி.
It means coming to me with advice. When I want. Where I want.
Ooh, love it.
It means having your back with fraud alerts. Yep, it's us. And when I'm going on vacation, I can get foreign cash delivered right to my door.
Let's go!
You know where you gotta go for that kind of service? My bank. Aeroporto, per favore.
CIBC. Banking that fits your life.
Let us welcome Mani Chittur to the stage, please. The recipient of this award is a great cook. His wife fell in love with him after eating his food. He is a Mridangam player, loves gardening and sports. During his leisure time, he enjoys reading Robin Sharma's books, and his favorite of all is Who Will Cry When I Die. Let's play a video.
அதில் 20வது வருடமாக இடம்பெறுகின்ற இந்த விருது வழங்கும் விழா மிகவும் சிறப்பாக கோர்டன் ஹைவே 7 சந்திப்பில் அமைந்திருக்கின்ற ஹில்டன் ஹோட்டலில் இடம்பெற்றுக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. பல அரசியல் பிரமுகர்கள், வர்த்தக பிரமுகர்கள் என்று பலரும் கலந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்ற இந்த நிகழ்வுகளை இவ்வளவு நேரமும் உங்கள் தமிழ் ஒன் தொலைக்காட்சி நேரடியாக உங்கள் இல்லங்களுக்கு எடுத்து வந்திருந்தது. கனடிய தமிழ் வர்த்தக சம்மேளனத்தினுடைய அத்தனை தலைவர்கள் மற்றும் நிர்வாகிகளுக்கும் அது மட்டுமில்லாமல் வந்திருக்கின்ற அனைவர்களுக்கும் நன்றிகளை கூறிக்கொண்டு இதுவரை நேரமும் பல்வேறு விதமான தொழில்நுட்ப உதவிகளை வழங்கிய தமிழ் தொழில்நுட்ப விடைபெற்று செல்கின்ற மற்றொரு நிகழ்ச்சியில் சந்திக்கலாம். நன்றி, வணக்கம் நேயர்களே.